I know that you are really busy. I know that you have a lot going on. And if I were to ask you to outline your schedule for just a typical day, I'm sure that it would be really busy. And I know that there's many of you that are just busy from the moment you wake up to the moment that you go to bed. And in fact, you're probably laying there in bed thinking, oh, I didn't get this done or I didn't get that done. Our lives are so busy and it is filled with so much chaos and so much noise. In the last video, we talked about the art or the skill of underreacting, and it's going to go a long way to help you reduce the drama in your life. Today we're going to talk about a skill that will really help you reduce the chaos and the noise in your life. Let me talk about the gap between what is real and ideal. When we focus on that gap, we have a tendency to only see what we don't have. We have a tendency to only see what we would like to do and really regret or resent what we have to do. Today I'd like you to think about all your things that you have to do. And I'm going to ask you, how much silence are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable with silence? If you're in the middle of a conversation and there's a pause, do you feel that you have to fill it with talking? And what about when you're just sitting somewhere, either waiting in the doctor's office or at the line in the bank, or where are you pulling out your phone and texting and reading email? Are you just really that busy all the time? Not that long ago, I had one of my clients tell me about their day. I was curious because she had been telling me how busy she was, and I really wasn't buying it. And so I said, well, tell me about your day. Outline your schedule for me. And I have to tell you, I was amazed at all that she had going on. This is a woman who has 2 special needs children. She starts her day at 5 o'clock in the morning where she gets herself ready because she has to spend a lot of time getting her children ready because they have to be at the bus stop by 7:15. She has to be at work by 8 o'clock, so she has to be on the road traveling to her work by 7:20. She works until 3 o'clock. She comes home. She meets the bus. There's homework. There's chores to do around the house. Then there's preparing dinner. And then there's physical therapy for her children. I was so amazed at how busy she was from the moment that she wakes up to the moment she goes to bed. And she's telling me that she doesn't even have enough time to get done all the things that she needs to get done. Now, that was an eye-opener for me. And it caused me to realize that maybe many of you have a day like that as well, where you're just so busy and there's so much going on that you don't have a moment to yourself. Well, today I'm going to share with you something that's going to really help you with that, but it's going to take a commitment on your part. And the reason I'm going to share this with you is because it's made a significant difference in my life, and it's made a significant difference in the lives of my clients who practice this. Now, I've been very fortunate to travel all over the globe doing speaking engagements, working with corporations and working with individuals, and I have learned something through my travels. It is called the ancient art of Sadasu, and it is spelled S-D-A-S-U. And you're probably wondering, what is this ancient art? I have researched it, I have learned about it, and now I'm going to share it with you. Sadasu stands for sit down and shut up. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is to sit down and do nothing. I want you to set some boundaries when you sit down and do nothing. I want you to turn off your cell phone, turn off the TV, turn off the computer, turn off your life, and just sit down and be quiet for a little bit. And here's how you can do this. I would like you to pay attention in conversations when there's a pause. Now, many times when there's a conversation and there's a pause, we have the tendency to just fill it with questions, with talking. I want you to resist the urge to talk. I want you just to listen. I want you to be quiet in a conversation. You are going to learn things that you never knew from the people who are doing all the talking. The other thing I'd like you to do is to learn how to be comfortable with yourself when you're alone. There is so much going on in our lives that sometimes we become uncomfortable when there's not a lot of people around us. So I want you to start to pay attention to how comfortable you are being alone. Now, some of you may say, oh, I can't wait to be alone. I love my alone time. Well, that's probably true, but at the same time, I've met a lot of people that once they're alone, they can't relax. And so they stop being alone and they go find someone to talk to, someone to be with. But I want you to pay attention to how you feel being alone, and then I'd like you to take some time to be alone as well. And then I'd like you to learn just to be silent with yourself and find a quiet place to just be quiet. So I'm going to ask you to raise your tolerance for silence, especially in conversations. Raise your tolerance for being alone. I want you to raise your tolerance for doing nothing. So often we feel that doing nothing means that we're lazy and that we're slackers. Well, no one is going to call you a slacker for just taking a few minutes to do nothing. I want you to become a little more comfortable with doing nothing. And it doesn't mean, like I said, that you're going to become lazy. And I know you're thinking, well, how am I going to get everything done? I actually believe that you're going to become more productive by taking a few minutes to be alone, to be silent, to just be with yourself, to just sit there and be quiet. What this really comes down to is that I'd like you to learn to be comfortable with yourself. Because if you recall in the early videos, we talked about your self-worth, about accepting yourself for who you are. I want you to become comfortable with yourself, so comfortable that you could sit alone in silence for a few minutes every week. So here's my challenge to you over this next week. I would like you to take from 1 to 10 minutes every single day for the next 7 to 14 days and be quiet, just sit there, doing nothing, and just be comfortable with yourself. This is going to make a significant difference in your life. I know, and I say this again, you're feeling, well, I don't even have enough time for myself. I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to do that. I get it and I understand. But you will become more effective. You will become more productive by learning how to take a few minutes for yourself every single day. If you take 1 minute, you're going to get 10 minutes in return. If you take 10 minutes, I really believe you're going to get 100 minutes in return, and you'll be more effective. And it will allow you to handle life better so that you can handle those situations that create negative emotions a little bit better, so that you can convert those negative emotions into positive emotions, which is the key to cultivating optimism and learning how to be happy regardless of the situation. Learn the ancient art of Siddhasu. Sit down and shut up and be comfortable with yourself being quiet. It will really make a difference.